everyone, how are you? This is Mary Ellen. I'm here for your daily love energy forecast. Look what came out already. Very mysterious. I like it. So the first card there on your right is Black Panther from the Animal Medicine deck. That's awesome. And then next to that is the Sorcerer. So clearly we have a theme going on. So Spirit, what's the message, please, from the Beautiful Journey of Love Oracle? And then we're going to jump into the Rider Waite to see what's going on today. Intense, okay, Spirit said intense medicine. Yes, indeed. Woo, there it is. Jumped right out. Okay, interesting. Simplicity. Beautiful. So let's take a look. And then we'll take a tour. My guides are saying through the Rider Waite. I'm going to look at Black Panther. That's kind of really fascinating, isn't it? Let's see what that's all about. That's number 52 from the Animal Medicine deck. It's giving me a chill, actually. I like it. Oh, it's in a section all of its own. Okay, Black Panther. This is about embracing the unknown. Ooh. Black Panther slid silently through the bayou. Her golden eyes were catching the starlight. Her midnight fur soundlessly rippling over her stealthy sinew, muscle, and bone. She and her mate were the last of their kind. The Panther clan has been honored and respected by the red people of the bayou for hundreds of years. Black Panther's medicine allows human beings to face their fears and dark behaviors, exploring those internal, shadowy aspects of being. Wow, I love it. And as usual, this goes on for 2 pages. So somebody was asking me the other day about, why don't I read the whole thing? And it's because I want the readings to be digestible. You can always look these up online. Just go to the web and type in Black Panther medicine. All right. So we're talking about I was going to say the issue, and my guides bit my tongue. We're talking about things that are perhaps hidden, perhaps in the shadowlands. What is it about your fears, your dark behaviors, and those internal shadowy aspects of yourself that need to be explored? And isn't it fabulous that it's reflected by the Sorcerer? I love that. That is number 48. Let's check it out. It's a mirror image, Spirit's saying, to help us see the reflection from the animal world into the human. Okay, my guides are saying into the human psyche. So the Sorcerer is the source of dark power. Sorcerer represents the destructive aspect of the human psyche and self-centered behavior that harms others. It symbolizes the unconscious beliefs and the idea that fosters separation, conflict, and scarcity. When Sorcerer enters your circle, you're being called to look at how your beliefs around scarcity and self-centered fear manifest in your world. Examine the destructive part of your psyche that misuses power or harbors feelings of resentment, vengeance, lust, greed, bigotry, hatred, all that whole kind of list that goes on. My goodness. You have only forgotten that all beings are interconnected and that the universe is abundant. The Sorcerer arrives to challenge you to change your thinking. You're given a second chance. Correct your course and practice not blaming others for the darkness that lives inside of you. Make peace with it and choose another way. Wow. Woo, I feel like we're getting a talking to, don't you? And, simplicity, very straightforward. Keep it simple. My guides are talking about the things that happen. They're talking about the mental acrobatics that we do when we start to feel anxious or afraid or uncertain, especially when it comes to love. And then, we get all freaked out, they're saying. And half of the time, it's, what they're saying a word, hang on, it's coming through. Baseless. I thought I was hearing boundless, which didn't make sense to me. It's baseless most of the time. It is fear-based, and my guides are saying, just take a breath. That's why simplicity is here. Sometimes it's true. I think we do have to trust our intuition, right? Sometimes we know things, Sometimes we just suspect things, and then it does ignite our fears, and then that turns into negative thinking, then that gets reflected out to our partner. So these are always general messages. I think there are some folks out there that are obviously having this challenge. And we've been talking about politics. I've been talking about politics for a couple days. I think there's a little bit of reflection here, but I also think that it is one of the things that puts us into a negative state of mind. We don't even consciously know sometimes. What is it? The Spirit's asking, what is it that's driving your fears? It's time. They're saying it's time to stop and ask yourself and look within, like the cards are telling us. And okay, they're talking about the simplicity aspect. They're saying be simple. And I think that means, ooh, look at that. Those just literally jumped out. That means, all right, don't conflate and don't catastrophize. That's the word. They're saying don't catastrophize things, but be willing to talk, be willing to say what your fears are. You got to own them, don't you? The first thing that has to happen when you have a fear is you have to own it, and then you have to be willing to say what it is instead of blame and shame and whatever. All right, let's see what's right here. Look. Yep, absolutely. I don't need to even say anything about that, do I? I'm going to put it right there. And here's this one. The Sorcerer. Okay. Spirit's talking about the work that we do on the mental level. That's why they're talking about the Sorcerer. All right, Spirit. So, you get yourself into mental chains filled with anxiety. You're trapped in your own fears. That's the Eight of Swords. That's what it's all about. And you can totally get yourself out of there. It is going to take some work. If this is your baseline, then you have some growing to do. If this is your partner's baseline, they have some growing to do. So that's why there's work here aligned with the Sorcerer. Spirit, what else do we need to know about this? Difficult challenge. Spirit's talking about the challenge of being human. It's a rare thing, my guides are saying, that someone is, look at that. That someone is willing, okay, I'm saying it wrong. I'm getting corrected. We are not generally coming up, Spirit says, we don't come up through family systems that teach us and guide us and love us toward honesty and lack of fear. Many of us, sadly, my guides are saying. And so these situations come up a lot, especially when it comes to love, because it's where we are most vulnerable. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. So, the Nine of Pentacles. I'm going to put it right there. I think there's energy building, There's encouragement. If you put some work into yourself, like the Sorcerer card was saying, things will be okay. Spirit says things will be okay. But you've got to come from a place of inspiration. Look at that. Simplicity and inspiration in order to come to this victory moment when it comes to love and passion in your life. I love that. All right, Spirit, what else do you have to say about this? My guides are saying it's actually pretty simple, and, we already sort of know. But give us a little bit deeper aspect, if you would, Spirit. Since you brought it up, sometimes we tease each other. All the new folks probably don't know that yet, but my God, look. Strength, okay? Be strong. I'm going to put it over here. Draw on your inner strength in order to free your mind. They're talking to me about Bob Marley because of what I just said. Is there a song? There is a song. It's the redemption song, I think, isn't it? Do not, free yourself from mental slavery. Only you can free your mind. Something like that. Wow. Good on you, Spirit. That was pretty, I'm impressed. Okay. So let's see. See what just came out? I believe that this goes here. because we're riding into this cup of love when we put some work into it. And I love that. There's the King of Wands, King of Passion. When you come into your strength and you free your mind from mental slavery, then you are able to return to your passion in a way that's really strong. And my guides are talking about being bonded. I love that. Okay, you know what? I'm going to pick one more card. Spirit, this was nice and clear and quick today. Okay, I'm not going to take all those cards. Look, the World card. Of course you can change your world. Okay, I'm going to put these down, okay? I'm going to put all these cards down because at first it sort of seemed like a lot, but the Lovers, I like it. The World card. Let's see, let's put it up here. No, my guides are saying no. They want it over here. Because this is what happens when you move away from the anxiety. And then, yeah, you're going to have to stand and ponder if you're in this situation. More work, more growth. But it's bringing us into the full light of the sun. Illumination of this process that's coming forward. How about if we put it right there? So that is fantastic. I love it. Let's pick from the bag of runes. So if, obviously somebody out there needs this message. That's how I see these things. We could easily relate it to the politics. So if you want to do that, go for it, my guides say. But I'm kind of wanting to get back to our mission to talk about the challenges that we have as human beings. Look at this. Look at this row. Wow. Beautiful. Stand in your strength, not in your fear. Free yourself from mental slavery. I love that. I'm going to be hearing that in my head all day. Okay, Spirit. Ooh, what is the work we need to do to come through past this? Come past this, the dark forces and get into the simplicity and the clarity of mind that brings victory and love. Bonded love, right? The lovers, the sacred lovers with the angels, creating this beautiful world. And together, my guides are talking about, and together, you grow your garden. Because you know what? If you're standing this way, in this energy, you're just going to work and work and work and work and work. And that's not going to get you particularly what you want until you come into clarity. And that's what moves it. Okay, Spirit. Give us a room. There it is. Oh, look at that. That's literally perfect. That's Isa. I'm going to put it right there. That's where it belongs. It's about standstill. It's about the self. And it has a lot to do with how to turn this situation around, or the way in which it is meant to bring to you a message so that you can break free. It has to do with ice being frozen. I really love it. All right, so Isa is about standstill and withdrawal. It is associated with the element of ice. The winter of spiritual life may be upon you. You may find yourself entangled in a situation to whose implications you are, in effect, blind. Don't you love it? Look at that. Perfect. You may feel powerless to do anything except submit, surrender, even sacrifice some long-cherished desire. Be patient, because this is the period of gestation that precedes a rebirth. Positive accomplishment is unlikely. There is a freeze on useful activity, and all your plans are on hold when you're in this state of being. You may be experiencing an unaccustomed drain on your energy and wonder why. A chill wind is reaching over the ice floes of your old, outmoded habits. Trying to hold on to them can result in a shallowness of feeling, a sense of being out of touch with life. Seek instead to discover what it is that you are holding on to that perpetuates this condition, and let it go. Shed, release, cleanse away the old. Doing so will bring on the thaw. Usually, Isa requires a sacrifice of the personal I. At such a time, you cannot hope to rely on help or friendly support. And yet, there is no reason for anxiety. Submit and be still. For what you are experiencing is not necessarily the result of your actions or your habits, but rather arises from conditions about which you can do nothing. That's why they were talking about the way we come up, the way we're raised up. We don't get the full set of skills that we need. A lot of times we have to learn them in adulthood through trial and error, unfortunately. So you stand alone, and certainly you do if you're in this state of being, you are standing alone. Spirit says quite literally. And yet there's no reason for the anxiety. Submit yourself and be still, because what you are experiencing, the conditions that out of which it arises, this issue, is showing you that what has been full must be empty, and what has increased must decrease. This is the way of heaven and earth. To surrender yourself is to display courage and wisdom. And really, it's not surrender to the anxiety, it's surrender to the fact of it and allow yourself to look into it. Be strong and understand the work that you need to do. And I kind of like that they look into each other a little bit. And then behind the scenes, there's this inspiration. Some part of you does want to break free, and you do want a new world, don't you? You really do. So this is the way of heaven and earth. Surrender and display courage and wisdom. And yet there is another phase to stand still. Just as winter is a time for going within, drawing Isa can announce a time of restoration and renewal at the deepest level. In your solitude, exercise caution. Do not stubbornly persist in attempting to work your will. Remain mindful that the seed of the new is present in the shell of the old. It is the seed of unrealized potential and the seed of the good. Trust your process and watch for signs of spring. Just, what I'm finding it so beautifully poetic. So, absolutely, when it comes to the statement about don't exercise your will, they're talking about the will that comes out of the anxiety when you put yourself in chains and you're stuck in the shadow side. And, okay, so my guys are talking about the sorcerer. From there, when you try to exert your will and you perform these efforts of sorcery, those efforts are also not, Spirit saying, not of a clean mind, not of a clear heart. They are manipulative by their nature because they are driven by fear rather than by strength. So, beautiful message today. Hugs and kisses and love and encouragement going out to anybody who is having these challenges. And you know what? I think we all do, don't we? There's just so many situations that arise in the course of a day, almost, it seems. And, there's some challenges that are going on in some parts of my family, and I can see this reflected there. I really can. And part of the anxiety is I'm so filled with anxiety, I don't even know how to interpret that person's words. So, with simplicity, don't read into things what aren't there. Okay? So, have a blessed day. I'll be looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks everyone for being here, and please remember always to click the like button and share and all that kind of happy stuff. And Spirit says they're looking forward to hearing from you. I like it. Thanks everyone. I'll see you soon.